I've been saying this for months that we are going to see a financial collapse of the university systems, and everyone's going to be scrambling for the available dollars. There's going to be lawsuits that are going to happen. Everyone's going to say the value of who they are, and we'll see who gets it. And I think athletics is going to be punished. It's going to be punished big time because they're not going to win the battles of why they're important versus other programs. Unless you are woke and you're part of a woke program, you're in big trouble. And I work at the college level, and I'm nervous about what's going to happen for where I'm going to be as all this unveils. Luckily, I'm at the junior college level, and we don't have ridiculous amount of fees like these universities do, and how they budget is a little bit different, but we're going to have losses like anybody else. When you don't have your doors open, it's going to be a problem, and a huge awakening of financial responsibility is going to rear its ugly head, and things are going to get cut. So this is from the newobserver.com. More employees see cuts as NC universities face sharp financial losses due to COVID-19. And just in September, I mean, I could go all day right now. I have like 8 websites open right now with just horrible news, and it's just going to get worse. When we get into October, November, you're just going to see a destruction of opportunity loss, and it's going to be devastating. And it reads, the economic impact of COVID-19 continued to hit local universities Thursday as NC State announced new employee furloughs and salary cuts. And in Chapel Hill, UNC administrators warned campus trustees about similar personal actions in response to revenue losses of up to $300 million this fiscal year. Every university around the country is facing revenue losses, in some cases historic revenue losses. And so South Carolina is no different. UNCCH Chancellor Kevin Guskowitz said at the media briefing Thursday, with hundreds of millions of dollars at stake, UNC is working to find solutions that will help lessen the financial blow. UNC has furloughed some employees in those auxiliary departments, and the universities has also been trying to save money by limiting new hires, restricting non-personal spending like events and travel. And that goes across the board. That is happening everywhere. And the devastation to all of this is just going to be so bad. And I am nervous about it, where I'm going to be. And maybe I'm just on YouTube. I don't know. The number itself sounds somewhat dramatic. Guskowitz said, but hopefully if we can continue to keep measures in place, it won't be as bad as what we're projecting. Yeah, their projections, I don't think they're too far off. And what's scary too with projections, they'll project, they'll make their cuts, and if you can survive within those cuts, you'll be stuck to that. And that's what I was talking about earlier about it's a big battle of who can get what and who gets cut less and who can survive that or make a case. And like I said before, got to be woke. If you're not woke, you're in big trouble unless you're big football. You gotta claim your prize. NC State leaders said the temporary furloughs and salary cuts were a result of sharp reduction in revenue this fall, including in university housing, campus dining facilities, transportation, and the McKimmon Center for Extension and Continuing Education. The goods and services that those units offer are typically used and paid for students, faculty, staff, and visitors on campus. And there's a huge drop. But you know who's not dropping right now and who has students on campus and who has an increase in enrollment? Grand Canyon University. Grand Canyon University has an increase, and they're doing fine because they're for-profit, the only for-profit university in the United States. The nonprofit, the government-run programs tend to do worse when they're not playing with their money and they're playing with tax dollars at play. Oh, we got tax dollars. We'll spend it however we want, and we won't save because we're nonprofit. We got to spend it all kind of mentality. And here you go. Um, GCU is not in that situation. Not at all. But those funds dropped as COVID-19 spread on campus and into the local community, and NC State shifted to online learning and closed dorms this fall. So far this semester, revenue is down by $75 million, a 61% drop for the affected departments, according to the university. Now, I'm just talking about one university. Now, for me, I'm in a situation where I kept three or four. I kept 4 student athletes to come back to my college for the fall to see what the heck is going to happen, and we don't know what's going to happen. I'm now in a juggling game right now, talking to universities. I talked or I had a text with NC State men's soccer coach about one of my student athletes, and the next day when we were supposed to talk a huge bunch of articles on the NC State and the UNC came out. And I know NC State furloughed everyone for anyone making $100,000 below, which is probably in the soccer department, for 19 days. So they're done for 19 days. So I can't talk to them for 19 days, I guess. And that's the situation we're in right now, which is horrible. Where am I going to send these kids? I don't know. I need these universities to project their losses now, which I guess they have a hard time doing it because they don't know what spring enrollment's going to be. They don't know what the COVID or the manufactured scare tactics of COVID's going to do. It's going to affect a lot of kids, and the NCAA needs to do something about this madness, because we're not only getting programs cut, not only through funding or completely from their institutions. We're in a situation of so many kids are trying to move on to the next level, and they can't because there's uncertainty, and the number of student athletes that are available to be picked from has doubled. So that's going to be a problem. So less kids are going to have opportunity. That's what's going to happen. I think if, at Phoenix College, my program's going to be that much better, because I think everyone's going to be a lot better because they have a lot more students, potential student athletes to pick from, and they're going to be able to provide for some, but not all. And that is going to be good. Everything's goofy. There's just so much uncertainty. You don't even know what to do. It's nuts. So let's talk about the athletics. Scroll down to athletics. NC State Athletics also announced salary cuts or furloughs for each coach and state member throughout the department Thursday, effective October 24th through June 30th. UNC Chapel Hill coaches and staff will be taking pay cuts or going on furlough starting October 1st because of expected revenue losses for 2020-21. That is not good at all. So let's move to that article, or this website. So this is coming from backinthepack.com, and it gives a little update on the financial woes of NC State. NC State Athletics Department announces pay cuts and furloughs. Like every other school, NC State is facing significant revenue deficits, and it is. In a letter to NC State fans on Thursday, Wolfpack Athletic Director Boo Corrigan announced that the school is implementing pay cuts and furloughs for department employees beginning on October 24th. Corrigan says that NCSU is looking at a loss of revenues between 25 to 35 million because of the coronavirus. Due to the circumstances, this is what the letter says, due to the circumstances and reality we face, effective October 24th, 2020 through June 30th, 2021, we will implement a temporary salary reduction or furloughs to each permanent member of our staff as follows. Now, this is kind of mean. The ones that make the most get hit the least, because the the ones that make the least amount of money, they get furloughed, which is just ridiculous. It says coaches and staff members making 200,000 or more will have their salaries temporarily reduced by 20%. Coaches and staff members making 100,000 to 199,999 will have their salaries temporarily reduced by 15%. Man, if you were making you made it $200,000 and you didn't do the contract for 190, you get screwed here. Get massacred. Coaches and staff members who make less than 100,000 will be furloughed for 19 days. So that's a situation I'm in with NC State men's soccer coach. We're supposed to be having conversations, but we can't because he's furloughed for 19 days. I'm assuming that's what he makes. Maybe not. But I'm sure there's other conversations of what's going on with further cuts that they don't know yet. NCSU already has made operational cuts and has left open some vacant positions in the department in order to save money. State is far from alone here, as numerous athletic departments have made similar salary reductions. Everybody's been working from behind since the NCAA basketball tournament was canceled in spring. And this is only beginning exacerbating by a lack of football ticket revenues this fall. Fortunately, NC State has not had to cut any varsity sports, but these are tough times for just about everyone in athletics regardless. So they're going to be freezing a lot of things about ability to even give out scholarships, secure athletes, and that makes sense why the NCAA for Division I anyways extended their inability to recruit for soccer into December. Probably has to do with this. We need to find out what the situation is, because when you lose Division I football and you didn't have Division I basketball going on during March Madness, millions of dollars are lost, and it's going to be devastating, and it's not a good thing. So why do I bring this up? I bring this up because I did announce this back in May and June, and I was announcing it basically daily. Here's another university system. Here's another university system that's just going to get destroyed. And wait till you hear what's going to happen in Washington, UW, Seattle U, the Colorado State institutions. Those programs, especially like Colorado State university systems over there, they're all put their money together, and they're going to have to take it all out. And no one's really announced it. But this week, for whatever reason, there's just so many stories on it. Here's another one. This is Western Michigan University cuts $76 million in 2020-21 budget. This is a major one. Western Michigan University this week approved a general fund budget that has shrunk $76 million from the prior school year, and cuts to personnel make up large portions of those losses. WMU's Board of Trustees approved the 2020-21 budget on Thursday, September 17th, including the sizable reduction from last year's budget and reduced funding from the state and declining tuition revenue due to the coronavirus pandemic. This goes across the board, straight into athletics, and athletics will be hit over and over again, and it's just not pretty at all. Here's another one. This is Memphis Athletics announces budget updates. In response to the financial impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic, Memphis Athletics announced a series of department-wide cost-cutting measures Friday, including the elimination of 19 positions and furloughs for the salaried employees earning $40,000 or more. And that goes in effect October 1st. And it's devastating. Laird Veach says, our original budget projects of a $4.4 million deficit have now more than doubled to a range of $9 million to $11.5 million. While we're able to manage some of the projected deficits through cuts to our operational budgets, we have unfortunately been left with limited options and forced to make challenging decisions that impact the lives of our coaches, staff, and their families. That is going to run bonkers. And it's important that you have a good athletic director that can actually pay attention to the budget and really defend your programs of the cost savings of not even playing or participating. It is sad and it's scary where it's headed. But I get COVID-19 is real and all that. But where are we going? Where are we going? There needs to be real tough decisions being made is correct. But there also has to be some decisions of bringing in income and coming up with a plan. This is why I suggest for all colleges and universities, go have a conversation with a business person. Contact GCU. How did they survive? And I would like to know what other universities are surviving during this time and actually thriving. I heard Ottawa University, an NAI school in Arizona, actually has increased enrollment as well because it's a sports school and it's not that difficult to fill up sports and have kids go to school. It's not that difficult. But what is difficult is the normal population. So I don't know. It is scary times, and I'm hopeful we can have better things coming to us slowly. Something? No, it's not. Sorry, it's gonna get worse. The next couple months is gonna be devastating. It's gonna be a wonderful Christmas gift of you have no job coming round the corner because of COVID-19. We are the Titanic. We got hit, and it's going to be, water's coming aboard. Oh, wait, we're sinking down. We're all going to die. That's how it feels, and I warned you 4 months ago. It's coming. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you guys again shortly.